Live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to North Startup World. I hope you all had an amazing lunch break and all are energized already for this afternoon session. Today's afternoon session is going to be about data and cybersecurity. Well, many companies that we're speaking with are stating that one of their most valuable assets are data. And so let's see how these startups are bringing this data to help with better decisions and to help be more productive. And also cybersecurity following this amount of data that is being generated every day. So without further ado, and because we want to listen to what the startups have to tell us about this, let's welcome Miguel Reis with the Start Data, and have a good time.
Hi everyone, welcome, pleasure to be here. I'm just starting to share my screen. Hope everyone can see. And so, hello everyone, my name is Miguel Reis, I'm a founder at Stark Data, and it's a pleasure to be here to present Stark Data to you. So once Jeff Bezos said that if you don't understand the details of your business, you are going to fail. And this has always been true and is even more true today, as businesses have changed with the data revolution and modern businesses are now filled with information. This information, if processed and analyzed, holds immense value for businesses. Processing this data through AI and machine learning generates precious insights that would otherwise be impossible to achieve by using only human operations. AI and machine learning therefore enable companies to make better decisions, to define goals, identify opportunities, and to adopt the best strategies to boost their businesses. These opportunities for machine learning and pattern mining range from increasing the revenue of your businesses to improve the quality and efficiency of your services and to better know your customers. Our mission at Stark Data is very simple, is to derive higher value from your data and to provide you with actionable insights about your customer trends, behaviors, patterns, so that you know exactly where to go. We at Stark Data provide our clients with a series of insights, starting from customer acquisition on how to become more effective on acquiring the most valuable clients. For example, imagine that you have a prospect list of clients. Which clients should you target first so that your teams are most effective and productive? Also, in segmentation, how can we automatically segmentate our customers and identify which segments are more likely so that we can acquire a new customer? Then we give insights regarding customer engagement on how to enhance product offering and engage with our clients. How can we maximize cross-sell and upsell, and which product should we offer our customers? How satisfied are the clients with our products? Are they happy? And this is done through sentiment analysis of every interaction with our clients. Then we have the last point, which is customer retention, and one of the most critical aspects of businesses. Everyone knows that just a 10% increase in customer retention can lead up to 80% increase in revenue for every company. We at Stark Data, we predict which customers are likely to leave the companies in the next few months so that we can proactively prevent these customers from leaving by improving their services so that they can stay. More specifically, we provide insights ranging from automatic discovery of customer segments, revenue forecasting with a high degree of accuracy, customer satisfaction and sentiment analysis, recommendations, sales and product analysis, customer risk, and competition and prospects. And how do we communicate these insights to our clients? We provide the actionable insights through our easy-to-use dashboard that is available for you. This dashboard can be adapted to include insights for every level of the company, starting from top management and high-level insights for companies and macro indicators, for your marketing teams and for your sales teams. Also, our product is agnostic and can be used to different areas of businesses. Currently, our product is prepared and already in use in the retail industry and the healthcare industry. We are also currently developing an iteration of our product for the financial industry. So how do we translate this information into our dashboard? Basically, we gather and correlate all information that you have available regarding your clients, starting from your marketing teams, which offers they have made and how successful they have been, your ERPs, your CRMs, your customer service, your databases, your transactions, and your social media. We correlate all this information and we input them into our AI models and translate into the insights that are more valuable to you and completely tailor-made to you. This can be customer segments, as I have mentioned, product analytics, sales intelligence, between others. Thank you so much for listening. It has been my pleasure, and you can find us at starkdata.ai, or if you need to have a chat with us or more information, you can send us an email at hello@starkdata.ai. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. Great presentation. Thank you for sharing with us. Now, timing for questions.
I can start. Hello, Miguel.
Hello.
Congratulations on your presentation. I think it was very clear, and I think it brings a great value added. My question is, I understood that you are agnostic for the input that you received, and that you have a software where we can go to see the insights that you tailored from the data. But that's how do you call it? Sorry, I had a. Do you have some kind of sentiment analysis, or you are just guided through pure data as it is? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So currently we already have prepared, and it's ready to use a sentiment analysis on emails and written interaction with clients. And we are currently developing the next iteration to transition into voice interactions so that we can model the sentiment. Yeah.
Okay, great. And in terms of businesses and business, how are you? Do you already have clients? In what stage are you? And you talked about retail and banking. Mm-hmm. Can you detail a little bit more? What kind of insights did you get, and how many clients do you have?
Yeah. So currently in retail, we already have clients, and we are already in production. And the results that we have obtained so far is that they are happy with what they have, and we are currently prospecting and organizing our expansion in this specific client into the whole country. So we are currently acting on the area of Portugal, and we are studying on the proposal for the expansion on the information that we leave. Yeah, I think I don't know if I forgot a little bit of a part of the question.
No problem. And in terms of competition, this is a market where exists already huge competition from several companies, bigger and smaller. How do you see your biggest differentiator from them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a very hard question, but what we have found so far is that in our specific use case, there's not that many national competition, but I don't know how much I can detail, but a different factor, a different thing about us is that we, besides having a common architecture that we can introduce and adapt to different industries, we closely work with the people that have the most knowledge about the businesses. So when we work with our clients, this is not an interaction that is as simple as, okay, let's put this AI model in production into our our business. This is not how it's done, because AI is not a ship and produce kind of business, because you have to input business knowledge and experience into the way that you treat data. And the way that we handle this is by closely working with the people that know the businesses, which is our clients.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ines, do we have any question?
Yeah, I think, first of all, Miguel, congratulations on the presentation. I think it was clear the business model that you presented. In terms of, industry segment, I believe we all get the sensation that you could be actually agnostic, so you could have a fit in different industry. I'm curious to understand, when you mentioned retail and financial services, is there any specific feature from your solution that fits on these industries? What's the layer of actually customization that you bring to it? And you also mentioned that you're now focused on bringing this, footprint to the Portuguese market, but I think it would be interesting for us to understand as well, like, how are you planning, this expansion in terms of, other geographies, take into consideration that you might find already some other players, other competitors in those countries. So just out of curiosity, I think it would be interesting to understand that angle as well.
Yeah, so regarding the first question, in the retail industry, we have a specific part of our product that's more made into this field, which is the analysis of competitors regarding coffees, hotels, and coffees, hotels, and restaurants. Yeah. So this is a specific feature that we have that it's only possible in this market, and it's not easy to have available to every market. Regarding the second question on how can we bring, if I'm not mistaken, can you repeat the second question?
It's more on the international expansion. So how are you planning to launch your product into the international market, take into consideration the competitors that are already present and existing in those markets?
Yeah, so we are actively looking for clients, but so far our strategy is, as our client that is working on the retail industry, it's a multinational. So we are following the steps by steps as we can handle them and well. Starting from a region of our country to the whole Portugal, and then expand upon their other markets in other countries. We are doing the same in the health industry, which we are working with a big player in the pharma intelligence industry, and this is also how we are going to handle it. We are going to make we are already making a solution for them for our Portuguese market. And the next step, if everything goes well, is to also expand upon this project and go into Spain, Germany, and England together with them to grow together and well. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. Because we still have time for one more question, I'm going to read a question from the chat. From Bruno Alexandre Francisco, who actually had 3 questions, so I should suggest you get back to him when we finish this session. So the question is, do you wait for the customers to ask you for what they want, or do you suggest the insights that can be retrieved?
Yeah, so this is an important question, because it's not always easy to define which insights are important, right? Because we, as tech people, we have some specific ideas on what we think is valuable, but the clients and that know their businesses, as I have mentioned before, also have some idea of what they want. But both parties sometimes are not clear on how it's best fit for everyone. And I think only through discussion and through a pre-contract phase that we do, we have a meeting with the people in the companies so that we can organize exactly what we are going to give them and if it's possible. And thank you, Bruno, for the question.
Thank you, Miguel. Amazing. Now let's move on with the second presentation on this afternoon. with Rodrigo Moretti from Modate. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Give me just a second to get my presentation up and running. There we go. So, sharing my screen. Okay. I hope everybody can see my screen. So, hi, everyone. So, my name is Rodrigo. I'm one of the co-founders of Modata. And we are changing how we value our data privacy. So every year, our personal data fuels a market that is worth more than $500 billion. So think about it. How much money did you ever make from your data? Nothing, right? I know this is not fair, but trust me, it's a lot worse for companies. And this is the reason. All of that effort is being trapped in a guessing game companies have to play every day to guess who their customers are, what they want, and how to reach them. And they do this by investing in web and mobile ads or buying big chunks of data and analyzing it. But there's a huge catch. Web and mobile ads are super inefficient. The best performing player in the field can promise you less than 4% click-through rate on a successful campaign, meaning you have to annoy 96 people to get 4 that might want to hear what you have to say. And buying data has become super risky due to privacy regulations, and you still have to deal with inaccurate and outdated information. And what happens is that this leads companies to a state of constant compliance violation risk, forced to engage in an intrusive relationship with their potential customers based on guessing, where they have little to no control on the return on investment or their marketing initiatives. And as for individuals, we know we have no control on how our data is used. There's no such thing as privacy. Our data is used to spam us with information we really don't care about, and we have been completely cut out of the data market. So we thought there has to be a way to bring privacy, knowledge, and value through data in a way that everybody benefits. So we started Modata with a very simple principle. If our data is ours, it should be with us. So we built Modata on the fact that each user would hold their data on their phones and not on some server or some cloud somewhere. And Modata set out to apply its technology to extract the same value big tech gets from a centralized environment, but do it on a fully decentralized, privacy-friendly environment, bringing all that value, all that knowledge to each user's hands. And what we did was create a decentralized marketplace around that mobile app, giving a web portal for companies to pay users to interact, enabling them to create a positive relationship based on respect, where every interaction is voluntary. Those interactions can cover every need of the company from their first contact until the last, covering awareness, lead generation, sales, loyalty, big data, and intelligence. So how does this work? Let's say you're a company, you just launched your product, you have this really cool promo video you want to show. Your business goal is to show that video to the very specific segment of users. You set out how much you want to pay, and Modata will show that offer only to the people that fit that profile. Jeff, that has our app and fits the profile, receives the offer and knows exactly what Fast Banana expects of him, what's in it for him, and how his data is being used. That's how he can make an educated decision whether to accept the offer or decline it. If he accepts, we'll make sure he fulfills the offers until the end, get paid, so that business value is generated for Fast Banana, and that's when Modata will receive a fee. We want to make sure we solve real problems of real companies, like getting qualified app installing engagements for startups, or generating traffic for e-commerce retail stores, generating leads and sales for service provider like NOS, for example, or creating intelligence for market research companies, or even driving traffic and sales for offline businesses like restaurants or stores. What we want to do is give those companies a way to reach their potential customers that is 100% GDPR compliant, where they can use any data point they like while showing they respect their customers, while being in total control of the return on investment on their marketing initiatives. As users, we want to be sure our data never leaves our hands. Through advanced AI algorithms, we want to generate knowledge and take it directly to each user's hands and allow the user to get all of their information and interact with the company they really care about, generating an additional income. So our mission is to bring people and companies together privately by building the largest decentralized database of consented personal data, promoting privacy into every touch point, and enabling interactions, both online and offline, to generate measurable business value. So We are Modata, and we really want to change how we value our data privacy. So join us.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Amazing pitch. Thank you a lot. So now let's open up for questions from Miguel and from Inês.
You want me to start, Inês?
There you go. You go,
Okay.
Miguel.
Okay. Rodrigo, congratulations on your pitch. I think it was very, very good. I always smiled with the fast banana. It's very good, very excellent name. My
promising
question,
startup.
Sorry?
It's a promising startup.
Exactly. My question is regarding I wanted to know in which stage are you in your evolution, and how are you in terms of community? How is been growing your community?
Okay, so great question. Thank you. So we are currently focused on product development. We have been we passed the ideation and the prototyping phase, and early last year we launched our MVP, where we were able to create in little over 6 months a community of over 110,000 people just in Portugal, and test our products with over 20 very well-known brands. Paying campaigns, brands like N26, Amazon Prime Video, La Redoute, Gant, so very well-known brands. Right now, we still have that product in the air, but we are really focusing on product development. And our expectations is to relaunch the product with the entire set of functionalities in April this year.
Great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you, Miguel. Inês, do you have a question?
Yeah. Rodrigo, congratulations once again. A great pitch. I think we are already used to this great pitch coming from Modata.
Thanks.
So yeah, I mean, I think from obviously from a market fit, I think this is very interesting. The gap that you are filling. I love to see the slide on economy of fairness, because I think that's a great motto to bring onto the table. But I believe there is another angle here that is really approximate the users, right, to what is the new generation of data, usage coming from the companies. So from this point, I think this, access to, the final user in terms of how is my data is actually being processed and how could it be leveraged. I think it's a relevant and it's a strategic point at the moment, right? Even with the GDPR that is becoming even more and more relevant. So on this point, I think it would be interesting, from your perspective as well, to share on how are you planning to address, the community of final users, because I believe that's actually the engine that will feed then all the motion that you're trying to drive. So what's actually the plan? I would call it promotion, right? On a first stage of promotion, how are you planning to actually address this first community of users that will actually then will feed the platform itself?
Okay, so let's break that down in two. So one, what we did on the MVP that worked very, very well. During the entire MVP, we reached that community with no marketing investment and bootstrapping 2 people in the company. So what really worked was to engage with the micro influencers and working with our the member program. So basically, it's an incentive program to get people into the platform and benefiting who brings more people into the platform. There's one thing that I'm sure everybody has come across in the internet, which is your typical myth of make money online, right? So when you break that myth and when people really realize that there's not only there's value in their data, but that value can actually translate into money getting into their bank accounts, that's when you break the barrier and when people start believing and coming in. So that's one of the things that really worked, and we want to replicate this time because it makes perfect sense. The second one is, and if we think about it, there's no real way today for us as users, as individuals, to benefit from the knowledge that is on our data. So if I want to install an app or use a service that can help me make informative decisions on my life, on my day-to-day life based on my data, there really is no solution. And I think especially the new generations are very sensitive to this. Imagine if you can get an app that can tell you, hey, listen, your mobile phone plan is not the right for you. Change to another one because it's going to benefit. Or if you want to go to a more complicated example, imagine like based on your activity, what you eat, your bank statements. I know there's a high chance of you getting some kind of disease, but if you change those habits, those chances drop by any number of percent. So if you get a way to analyze your data in a structured way, but in a very simple and very human-friendly way for you to make this informed decisions based on your data, that's valuable enough. So that's another angle we want to tackle. So one, monetization, and the other, the value of your data.
Yeah, the tailoring there, right? The tailoring experience.
Yeah.
Super. Thank you so much, Rodrigo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inês.
May I just put one other question? Just to understand, I totally got it that you are GDPR compliant and that for a company like yours, it has to be. So, but the question is, are you only giving the information that that have interest to that particular company, or are you giving the whole information that I provide to you to that company? Or either you don't give any information for them, you only give the information that I respond to certain questions or something?
I'm glad you asked because what we did was we turned your mobile into data processor. So I'd say 99% of the use cases, data never leaves the phone. So we are actually not giving anything to anyone. We are allowing companies to interact with the user, fulfilling their business needs without data never leaving the user phones. And by the way, when I say the user phone, if the user loses his phone and doesn't have his own backup, he loses his data. There's no data anywhere else. So our goal is to make sure that data never leaves the phone. That's the end goal. That's the dreamland. There are use cases where companies really need to get data back, right? For any number of reasons. That's another use case you can still do, and that's always going to be done with the user consent. But you only use the data that you really need, and the company decides which data is relevant so that the user can decide if the offer is fair or not. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
Completely. Thank you very much, Rodrigo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. We still have time for one more question, and I'm going to read the question here from the chat. Also, I think you'd be glad to know that Eduardo from your team is also replying on the chat, so it means that people are really interested on seeing how it works. So if I understand the question here, is from Paulo Gonçalves, and it's something like, is it possible for one person to have different profiles, meaning depending on companies or articles?
Cool. So no, the idea is that your profile is unique. What we do is by integrating different data sources into the same profile, we can guarantee that you are who you say you are unique, and that your data is valid. So, well, there's a lot of different ways to check that you actually brought in valid data to your profile. But one of which is cross-referencing data from different data sources. By the way, always on your phone, never somewhere else, right? So there's no way to get different profiles. You can have your account in different phones, but it's always going to be the same account with the same set of data. So it's not a duplicate account. There's no duplicate account. There's no bots. There's no way to get click farms on it. The idea is that you are you.
Great, Rodrigo. Thank you. And thank you, Eduardo, as well, for replying to the questions. Great presentation, great Q&A. Let's move on to why data, keeping on data startups here. So, Fabiana, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'll share my screen then. Let me see if you can see my screen properly.
Yes.
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Fabiana, and I'm here to tell you something you have been missing about AI. Although AI is the new factor of production for enterprises, last year alone, 85% of AI-based projects failed. And the causes? Data governance, which includes access to data and data quality, is by far the top challenge for AI. Moreover, it is the biggest pain across the all sectors. Our conversations with more than 100 data scientists in top-tier organizations confirm that their biggest problem is not having access to the right data with the needed quality at the right time. That's why we built YData. We offer a data-centric platform with synthetic data generation that makes the process of building high-quality data sets take a fraction of the time and cost they used to. A workspace for data science teams to discover the available data, clean, and have it labeled, as well as generate new one. On top of that, we offer support for pipelines and models, so data scientists can experiment and benchmark their data sets building choices and their impact in the AI development. Our core feature, synthetic data generation, allows data scientists to create new data that keeps the same characteristics as the real one, but is not traceable back to the original records. Compared to traditional anonymization methods, it allows data to be shared without personal information and less risk or re-identification. It also allows organizations to generate higher volumes of data, crucial for the successful development of AI models. All of this in the cloud provider of your choice or on premises. The integrations with existing systems and databases are seamless and hassle-free. We cope with large volumes of data and do not require complex integrations. Just click on Connect and it's done. Our customers are organizations that are adopting AI and are benefiting from YData in several different manners. First, we make sense of siloed, sensitive data while being compliant with privacy regulations. Second, we improve their return on investment of AI, from increasing productivity of their teams to actually improving existing data sets and also the models. And finally, we also enable the creation of new data-driven products and also revenue streams. Some examples we are working on include improvement of, for example, fraud and anomaly detection models. We are able to build a better training data set by generating more synthetic fraud and anomaly events, which will result in the end at a better model with higher accuracy. Simulation of unforeseen events is also especially useful for risk departments and trading teams that need to forecast, for example, prices or scenarios based on conditions. And also by simply making the existing data better and monetizable. Data monetization is a top trend, and many enterprises already think of it as a strategic objective for short term. The potential is huge in the AI space, it's going fast. That's why we partner with the most advanced companies to create the thought leading communities for data science and machine learning. We also open sourced our technology of synthetic data generation so everybody can take advantage of its benefits and take the next step towards AI adoption. We invite everyone to join our communities and to take on this journey together. Because the problem isn't really the algorithms, but the dirty data fed into it. Want to know more about the future of data science? Let's talk. I'm Fabiana, and I'm co-founder of YData. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabiana. Great presentation. Congratulations. Now let's open for questions.
Shall I go first, Miguel? Yes, there we go. Let's just split it, right? Thanks, Fabiana. Thanks for the great pitch. I think the value proposition is really clear. I believe that soon you will be positioned as the real best friend of data scientists. So I'm not even doubting that. But my question, and even maybe it's really a suggestion, and I think it's important even for the audience to get this perspective. If you could share it, it would be more on the angle on. Obviously, you are tackling a very specific, gap here. There is, this extra layer of intelligence that you bring into big data scenarios. How do you see, even on, I would put it on 5 years time, right? Like obviously your product will evolve in a certain way, but what are the actual opportunities and challenges that you feel you could face in 5 years time, taking into consideration that we are becoming, more and more data driven oriented?
Definitely. So that's a very good question. There are two main topics that nowadays are taking the scene of data. So one of them is privacy, which was touched already by some of the companies that presented today. And the other one is definitely fairness and explainability of data. So definitely those are the problems that we foresee and are within the vision of Y data. So we are not just, we don't want just be that extra layer of, automating some basic pre-processing of the data, but we want to be the layer that really explains you what your data has and how it is impacting your decisions in the end. Because we are investing a lot in nowadays in model explainability is true, but there is an impact of data on that. So why are you giving a credit to a person and not to the other? A lot of those answers are within the data, and that's part of the data quality that we are tackling, for example.
That's great. Thank you, Fabiana.
Thank you,
Hi,
Fabiana.
Fabiana. Thank you very much for your presentation. I think it was great. Do you have any favorite, or are you targeting any segment, preferably like I don't know, telco, retail? Are you going through, or are you agnostic and go to every kind of data?
So we are indeed a developer tool, which make us potentially agnostic, but still we are focusing on three main verticals at this moment, which are telcos, utilities, and financial services, because of the use cases that we are exploring and where we are definitely identifying value to be delivered, which are cases where for example, organizations are looking to reduce costs or even to optimize their operations. Things like fraud, predictive maintenance, and so on. So those verticals are the best position to start right away benefiting from what we do.
Okay, and there's a slide on your presentation, a part of your presentation that you talked about anonymization, if I understood it correctly. So you take the data and clear it from any information that could connect to a singular individual or identify some particular person, correct? Go.
We can say it's more or less, let's say it's a new level of generation of anonymization in a way that we are not just removing, like traditional anonymization methods where we do hide the sensitive information and all the rest is made available. We are really synthesizing the data. So in a sense that we have some models learning and understanding how it looks the reality, and on the other hand, generating new data that mimics this reality that we know from the original data, but none of the new events created are really real, which make them private in a sense.
Okay. Because my question was, and I don't know if you already answered or not, but my question is, imagine that you're taking telco information data, okay, and you're analyzing some city, and you're analyzing tourists in that city, and if you know there's I don't know, an Israeli, a guy from Israel here, and if he's the only one in Israel in Portugal, we can detect that that guy is the guy that entered, I don't know, yesterday or whatever. And so these adjustments needed to be done. My question is, are they done from your parameters that you put in, or each company can adjust it for their own use?
Definitely. So they are those are tackled in an automated way from our side, in our perspective. So we, unless, let's say, this person has a really behavior that is very different from the rest of the persons within the city, that makes that person, let's say, outlier. And usually what we do is to remove automatically those events, just because even through synthesization, when you are learning for something that is very rare to happen, well, it can happen that you just end up really having the same exact behavior, which makes that record still re-identifiable. Even if it's harder to re-identify, it's still. So what we do is definitely to remove those events. If the case, it's definitely privacy, for example.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fabienne.
Thank you, Fabienne.
Yeah.
Great. So I'm as on the other pitches, I'm going to do the same here, reading a question from the chat. And also, Abel Aguiar is here giving kudos to Miguel and to Inês as well, our amazing jury. So a question from Bruno Alexandre Francisco again, and I think it's you can develop this question. Is the product already in place?
Yes. So we already have our platform. As explained, we have the platform already developed to be integrated or deployed in the 3 clouds, in this case, Azure, Google, and AWS. And we also have it available to run on-prem, which include all the features of the platform, which are from the data processors, and also synthesizers, for example, and other tools for data science teams.
Thank you, Fabienne, for the answer, and thank you for your pitch. It was great. Now let's move on with Pentac, with Anna here. Ready when you are.
Yes, I am. Are you listening to me? Can you listen to me?
Yes.
Okay. So let me go to the presentation. Okay, are you seeing the presentation?
Yes.
Yes? Good. Okay, so hi everyone, I am Ana Castro and I am very pleased to meet you all and have this wonderful opportunity to present this startup that could be described in one short phrase. So it's ethically hacking for a safer future. Pentac is a newborn cybersecurity startup, 100% Portuguese, that was shown to the world on December 1st, 2020. And it brings to life a vision of cybersecurity thanks to a team of engineering, information security, research, and psychology professionals joining forces with a worldwide community of ethical hackers, Pent hackers. Although Pentac is a newborn, the founders are not. So let's meet them. I am Ana Castro, as I said already, invited professor at Faculty of Law, University of Porto, School of Criminology, recognized expert in clinic and forensic psychology, a researcher and co-author of scientific work, and as head of innovation, my mission is to incorporate a scientific understanding of human behavior into Pentac cybersecurity products, operation processes, and services. Also produce research to enhance Pentac services and actively contribute to a new understanding of the role of a hacker and hacking. Andre Batista, our CTO, is a bug bounty hunter securing organizations worldwide. He won the HackerOne H1 202 Most Valuable Hacker Award in 2018 and has been teaching the next generation of ethical hackers as an assistant professor at University of Porto. He's a computer engineer with strong programming skills and multiple awards in both Portuguese and international hackathons. Jorge Monteiro, our COO, is a space engineer with an entrepreneur mindset. Researcher at Center for Mechanical and Aerospace Science and Technology at University of Beira Interior and CEO at Spaceway. He says that cyberspace is growing and satellites play a huge role in an interconnected society and economy, so space systems will soon become the new frontier of cybersecurity. Miguel Oliveira is our CEO, has a strong business knowledge and management skills. He has been a strategic business consultant for over more than 50 years, and the impact of the events he managed and produced made him a person with a wide range of connections. As CEO at Penthack, Miguel is leading this startup to world reference in the field of cybersecurity. And then last but not at least, Miguel Regala, our head of hacking, is a bug bounty hunter securing organizations worldwide. Regala is on HackerOne Hacker Advisory Board and on Cobalt Research Advisory Board. His brilliant hacking skills also made him H1 Best Portuguese Hacker 2020. So, the big question is, why Penthack? In beautiful and realistic words, because we are creating the future you wish you would live in. We are the creators of Penthack Cybersecurity School, a prestigious education and training initiative for hackers, executives, professionals in the field of information security, and other professionals interested in cybersecurity. We challenge the cybercrime at our Research and Innovation Center, where we resort to AI and apply science to technology. And we materialize the concept of corporate hacking, which are our corporate services for the proactive promotion of cybersecurity and fight against cybercrime, establish an interaction between Penthackers and organizations. So generally speaking, Penthackers will be experts or are experts in research and development of digital defense and attack techniques. And our hackers will be selected according to specific parameters and act in compliance with applicable legislation in the field of the Cybercrime Act while being protected by the General Data Protection Regulation. Penthack founders Andre Regala and the other Penthackers have a huge CV in protecting critical organizations as IBM, Verizon, Shopify, Uber, Salesforce, Dropbox, Shopify, Spotify, among others that are covered by non-disclosure agreements, and I can reveal it. So our corporate services are targeted. We want to ethically hack large and critical organizations for proactive cybersecurity as inter or national technological organizations, healthcare groups, banks, communication, critical infrastructures, defense, military, and justice. And what do we offer in our corporate services? IT risk assessments, a blue team always ready to help in a case of cybersecurity incident, crowdsourced pen tests, and the ultimate security test, our favorite one, live hacking, a private event where high-impact vulnerabilities are identified within a short period of time with the bug bounty models. So if you want to know more about us, we will invite you to go to penthack.com, where you can have a full screen of what I just told you. And thank you very much for your time, and I am ready for you.
Thank you, Anna. Great presentation, congratulations. Now let's welcome the jury again for the questions.
Miguel, do you want to go first this time? Yeah, I can go. Super. Congratulations. Should I go? Yeah. Congratulations, Anna. I mean, this is really great insights and a really interesting deep dive, I think, from, even I would call it evangelism perspective in terms of cybersecurity. I think the angle and the approach that you are taking here is very, very interesting. Obviously, I need to do this parenthesis. I would be very interesting, to get to know the stories and potentially, some more sensible, right, client references that you could have, but I'm sure, I don't know, but I guess you won't be able to share that with us. I think that would be the most interesting part of it. But if we try to understand what are the challenges that you are tackling at the moment with your solution? So even if it is from a training perspective, and even from the teams that you mobilize into these corporate clients, how do you see actually? And I'm talking now on the short-term perspective, because I think this is gaining more and more relevance at the moment, right? When we see all the data that we are facing at the moment. How do you actually, perceive the real challenges in this current time that we are living in?
Okay, so if I understand your major question is how we Pentac see the secure of information, right?
Yeah, of the organizations that you are targeting with your solution, correct?
Yes, well, as I said before, the beauty of it, if you think in cyber attacks, the first thing it comes to our mind is hackers, malicious hackers. I don't want to get the wrong concept of hacker. Okay, so malicious attackers or offensive attackers. It's better when we put ourselves in their shoes. And the best way to do this is doing exactly the same thing, but in a legal way. And in a legal way is with agreements and closures and getting the law into this. So where I can see it, I see that the future of cybersecurity, it starts already. It's bug bounty platforms, which will join more hackers, more skilled hackers with different techniques. And that will be how can we, I think the big question is, how can we make malicious hackers' life miserable? So it's with live hackings, like Pentac has, and not just with live hackings, but in fact, they are crucial and they are big events that can really split apart everything and truly become near a real digital attack. So the future is like I said, the attacks will be continually increasingly growing with more sophisticated techniques. They are using AI and a wide range of techniques, malicious attackers. So we must be prepared and we must go further. And like I used to say, not one step behind them, but one step forward them. So that's it. I don't know, Inez, if I respond to your question properly, but I hope so.
No, absolutely. It was more even, to get your consideration on this. So I think we are all glad to have, companies as yours as the white angels of hacking, right? So thank you for that.
Hello, Anna. Thank you for your presentation. Great resumes you have there. So great team you joined together.
Thank you.
I only have two questions. One is, what's your business model? You have like a project-based business model, or as a service business model, where you enter the company and you go from there, or you attack, or you make project-based projects. Sorry, and the other is regarding the team. Is the team, you own the team, or the team is built from outsources that you address when needed?
Okay, so I will take the last one, and then I will go to the first. So the team we get through different contracts or services, as I said initially, is a worldwide community of ethical hackers that we call the pen hackers. So they are, as we call, friends from our hackers founders that have both of them a huge CV in this particular field. And that brings to your first question, which is our business model. So what we do is this: we have a meeting with the company, as we start doing this month, because we just arrived at 1st December 2020. So we are a newborn startup, and we go to the companies we targeted. We meet them, and we present us and our services. And then we make a study of their digital assets, and we make proposals. And we expect some feedback, and then we act. So the business model is like it's a fitting one. So it's customized to the company and the digital assets that are always evaluated before something occurs.
Okay. So it depends on the actual need from the client, and what's the best way to address it. Okay.
Yes,
Got
that's it.
Thank you very much, Anna.
You're welcome.
Anna, I'm going to read a question here on the chat, but before a comment from Miguel Mamed, who is telling you about the opportunity here of partnering with insurance companies. So here you have a free advice from the chat. And the question is, and we can develop it a little bit on this maybe, are companies or corporations aware of their vulnerabilities?
Sorry, João, I didn't get the whole question. I just heard the initial
So the question
part.
is, are corporations aware of their vulnerabilities?
The Portuguese ones? I'm just contextualize the answer. It's the Portuguese ones we are talking about.
I think it might have. I think it might have been just a general question, right, to all the corporates, I believe.
Because that's more difficult to answer. Because the cybersecurity knowledge and sensibility, it's not the same. Because it varies between the cultures. So if you were in America, I would say yes. But we are in Portugal, and I have to say some of them are. But even the ones who are receptive to these cybersecurity trends have some difficulties and scare to open their digital assets to hackers, which they don't know, and they don't realize what is the process of the recruitment and the selection behind it. And that's a big, important detail. This recruitment, this selection is very important, and it's critical. And not all the cybersecurity companies like Penthack who has, for example, live hackings, make the same kinds of or use the same parameters of assessments and which target the right hackers for the right job. But when we meet the clients, or when we meet these big corporations and we explain them all of these questions, they seem to be relief. They seem to be. So it's a little bit earlier for me to say that they will be opening to these things. But I'm sure if we do the right thing and continue to prove and show them that this is the best way and they can rely on us, I think we can turn over this state of the art and improve the need of live hackings, for example, and maybe the Portuguese companies will be more open to do some things like this, because it's very similar to it's almost equal to malicious cyber attacks, but they are legal and they are reliable because we are saying that they are, and it's our necks there. Okay, it's our reputation on the line. So we are saying the risk is minor. It's always, there will always be a risk, always, but for everything, not on the cybersecurity field. So taking this minor risk, we move forward.
Great, Annie. Great answer as well. I think you would be glad to know as well that George is helping you here on the chat, answering to the questions. So
right,
on that note, we go ahead to the final pitch of this afternoon with Arnaud from Jungle AI. Thank you, Anna.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to meet you. I understand I have 5 minutes to tell something about my company, and then you are going to ask me some questions, right?
That's correct.
All right. So what's Jungle? Jungle is a company. What we do is we add intelligence to data. The data, more specifically, coming off of the sensors that are already installed by the OEMs on electrical mechanical equipment. Our beachhead market really is a specific type of electrical mechanical equipment, namely wind turbines. But we have applied our technology also in a broader sense of the word. What really is important here is that I need to emphasize it is it's the data coming from the existing sensors. So we do not work with retrofitting hardware or specialist sensing devices. We simply use the data that is already available. And that's in fact the core hypothesis based on which the company was founded back in 2017 by the three founders. One of them is Portuguese, the other two are Dutch. And I came on board later. I run the company together with the three of them. The core hypothesis is that the already existing and available data is more than enough to say something about a large part of the problems that electrical mechanical equipment typically faces: failure modes, underperformance, and things like that. And lo and behold, 4 years down the line, it turns out to be true, this hypothesis. It actually does work. We are able to say something quite informative to our customers about the status of our assets, but much more importantly, about where there are issues with their assets in terms of power output, where there are risks to failures. And that drives a lot of value to our customers. We have last October we have launched our product. We are really a deep tech company in the strictest sense of the word that we have we've spent 3.5 years on developing our tech, and then finally we brought it to market with our product release. The product is called Canopy. Since October, we've rolled this out with our 3 launching customers, and we've also picked up a few new customers along the way. One of our launching customers is EDP, and the other, another Portuguese company that we have acquired since is a company called Generic. Both are renewable energy players. But we have also very large other international companies like the IKEA Group, for example, Energy, RWE as customers, Wupperman. So we're targeting large asset owners, in the short term, the owners of renewable assets, and in the medium term, a wider set of owners across heavy industry. I'll talk about that in a moment. I'll share my screen with you. I just have 2 slides to share with you in this very short pitch. There it is. So these are a few screenshots from our product Canopy. What you see here is at the very high level, at the portfolio level, we can do performance analysis for our customer. You can drill down into specific wind parks, then drill down further into wind turbines, and then drill down even further, as is done here, into specific components. That's, if you like, the backward-looking component that really highlights underperformance issues and opportunities to increase energy output from the existing wind turbines. But I think where we really shine is the forward-looking technology, the areas where we predict that things are about to malfunction based on the sensor, the data coming out of the sensor. It goes too far to try to explain that to you right now, but obviously it's a machine learning application that in first instance learns what the normal behavior of the assets is in all operating conditions and circumstances, and then after that, we in real time compare what normal behavior should look like with what is actually happening. And it is 99% of the time the same, but the 1% of the time where it is not the same, that's where our product or software picks up on the opportunity. We can generate automated alarms, cases, and our customers can use that for their own maintenance and operations outfits, but they can also use it to manage their server providers. So many times they have specialist server providers for maintenance, or sometimes they're even the OEMs themselves, the Siemens and Vestas, etc. In 2021, we're really focusing still on building out our renewables proposition for the simple fact that there's an enormous amount of value at stake. Here are a couple of example pictures. Suffice to say, if you can increase the energy output by just a few percent, like we do, that doesn't sound maybe too sexy, but in euros, it very quickly adds up, because obviously we deploy our product on very large volumes. IKEA Group, for example, 2 gigawatts of renewable assets. In the medium term, though, we also really have the ambition to widen ourselves into the heavy industry sector, because the opportunities there are even larger. The gaps for full performance based on data are even bigger. Why we're doing this only in the medium term? It's important now to start getting more revenues in the door with the product that we have working. Second, COVID is not easy on most heavy industry businesses, because they're typically very cyclical, and at the moment people are struggling to free up cash resources to finance digital innovation, and the renewable energy market is a lot more resilient to that. That's what I had planned to talk. I'm 1.5 minutes over. I'm sorry about that.
No worries, Arno. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us this very important information. Now opening up for questions with Inês and Miguel, and people seeing and typing down on the chat, please they are welcome to ask questions to Arnaud as well. So Inês and Miguel.
Do you want me to start, Inês?
There you go. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Switch.
So Arnaud, thank you very much for your presentation. Congrats on the team and the company that you are building. It seems very promising. It's always I believe it's always hard to kind of predict these kind of things. I can imagine, and my question is, how do you do a business model on top of prevention? You know, because it's easier. You don't have a price tag to put on the product. I can imagine that you will address a company and say, okay, if you make a deal with me, I can save you this amount of time, this amount of money. So how do your business model works, and how do you approach the companies?
Yeah, no, we actually do have a very clear price tag. So let me, I have to pick a little bit what I'm going to tell and what not. But
of course,
so we have a clear commercial strategy. It's a model whereby we price per megawatt per month. So in the renewables market, that's very easy to define, right? So we price more as we deploy our product more across a larger asset portfolio of our company, of our customer. And then obviously the aim is that our customer earns back that money several times over, right? That is, of course, our pitch. We have several business cases for that from the past that we can show and indicate. Of course, when you increase energy output by about 2 to 3% on a let's say a 100 turbine wind park, that is the same as adding 3 turbines to that wind park for free or for the cost of our product, right? And that, of course, is the business case. It takes a bit of a leap of faith from the customer, right?
Yes.
Right up front, how do you know that is actually true? And that is, of course, why we deploy the classic POC strategy, right? We try to get in the door with relatively low hurdle POCs, 6-month POC, deploy it on 2-3 wind farms. So the cost to our customer is not that high. We do that. We take care of all the data ingress, so there is no real time sink for our customer either, and we just get going. And then, as we prove that it works, then we can scale up the business. And obviously, with our launching customers, we're further on that trajectory than with the customers that we've just acquired.
Perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Arnaud.
Thank you.
Super. So maybe, sorry, Miguel, did you finish the question there?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So, and maybe to really add to Miguel's point, Arnaud, I believe this specific industry, energy industry has like a huge potential in terms of what could be data exploration and even like optimization. So congrats, first of all, on this specific target. From your pitch, I've realized that obviously you are very much focused on the scenario of maintenance and operations. I'm not going to even discuss the benefits from in terms of cost optimization benefits, direct benefits to the companies that you are targeting as clients. I think from the audience perspective, could be interesting to understand. And I don't know if you have these numbers, but it's something that could be a good reference, because I believe all of this optimization is leading to, I would say, improve on what is the sustainability footprint from your clients.
Yep.
So on the sustainability side of things, is there any specific references that you could share with us in terms of what's the impact that your solution is actually having in these corporates?
Yeah, so it's very strongly related to what I just answered to Miguel, right? So we are increasing the overall output of an existing asset by about 2 to 3%. That is additional energy coming out of a wind park. Now, if you look at the size of the wind parks right now, right, you multiply that by 3%, and that is the additional energy, that's the gray energy that's pushed out of the market as a result of our technology, right? Because when you have additional capacity, that means that at that time, the coal plant doesn't have to work, or the gas plant, or the nuclear plant, or whatever. So we essentially what we do is we help our customers push a bit more volume of true renewable energy, green energy, push gray energy out of the market. So in terms of sustainability, the associated CO2 emissions of the gray power plant that is pushed out of the market as a result of our technology, that is the CO2 emissions as a reduction as a result of our technology. Now, obviously, we're small still, right? We have 6 customers. But if you apply this to the entire industry, that is a very large number. 160 gigawatts installed base for wind alone. That is huge. That is several huge wind parks that you just add for free, basically.
That's already a great potential, even from your business model point of view, right? To have that ambition in mind to grow. Thank you so much, Arnaud. I think this was a great share as well for the audience. João, I'll pass it to you.
Thank you, Arnaud. Thank you, Inês, and also thank you, Miguel, for questions. That's it for today's pitch session. We're back tomorrow morning with a 5G for business. Super excited tomorrow morning at 11, and then on the afternoon, connected cities at 4 o'clock. So I hope I see you everybody tomorrow, and thank you a lot to the startups for sharing with us. Just as a reminder, you have on the platform many people trying to reach out to you, so please go there and try to answer as many people as you can. And thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a good time.
Okay, bye.
Thank you very much.